damn it. It was supposed to have, I had the funny Bilbo video loaded up. It was ready to go. Then I stumble in here like Kramer. Damn it. Well,
it's the best way to kick things off. It's so appropriate.
Here we are. So, welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. I am your host, Roman. Despite my best efforts, I still managed to make it this week. So we are talking about pop culture. We have several weird and wonky and wonderful things to dive into. It was my birthday. I did not die for one more year. That's pretty much it. So,
or is he a Skrull?
It's not for Disney not trying to kill you, just so we're clear.
No, they have been working on that. And we will look at the chat here in just a moment. But
we have got a Trouble Green in the chat, also in my chat. Hi,
Hello. Hello, Alasia. And yes, immediately I just ran right into the wall. That's like people expect a certain thing from this show, and by golly, they get it. So with me this week, she will tell you if this is the way. She is the untamed Mando. Welcome back to the show. How are you, Mando?
Doing all right. Today is Thursday. My life has been like for the last couple of weeks, it's just been kind of crazy all over the place. I'm glad to be back. I'm actually kind of excited for a couple of things on the list of things we might get to talk about today. So I'm just it's amazing, like things I actually might enjoy.
List, didn't I, Mando? You didn't get like a different list.
I mean, like
no, it's just peculiar.
That's the Dracula thing sounded cool.
That you got the Dracula one?
Oh, did I? Was I not supposed to?
That was
last week's.
Did I send you last week's? Nothing but professionalism on Roman of the Empire, folks. Thank you for bearing with us
here.
Well, y'all, I have no idea what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be great.
So this will be even more exciting for Mando. As
backstage, we were talking about stories that she didn't bother to tell us then. I love the fact that she did this to you live. She's like, I don't know what Pops is talking about. I don't know what Blair's talking about. Like, what are you people?
Reaction video in live time. It's going to be great.
It's good. It's good. Also with us, he is the master of the memes, the hostage of the raccoons. He is Jacob Ironside. Welcome back once again to the show, my friend. How are you this evening?
Hello, I'm good, doing good. Thanks for having me on.
No, always.
I made the mistake of watching the singing Klingons clip.
Oh, God, no, I never.
No. It's a lot. New Star Trek is a lot for anyone to take. Golly. And people watch that show voluntarily, which I find just amazing. He is my favorite internet wizard. He goes where he will. He is Blair de Blair. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Hello, Roman. Been a while. How are you? Another year above ground. Good for you.
Yes. Oddly enough, and again, I try real hard, folks. I really put in the effort. Yet still, I'm still alive. I don't know how it happens. I don't know how.
Maybe you're like a cat and have like 9 lives.
Maybe I don't. My liver apparently has more than that, so it's good. It's good.
Are you on a odd number or even number?
I am an odd number, but it's not like a good odd number. It's not a 5 or a 0, so it mostly doesn't count. But it is what it is. It's
so
survival.
1300.
Well, I was gonna we'll get through the intros first. Then I'll play the video I meant to play earlier. He is the yin to my yang. He brings balance to the interweb. He is Pops. Welcome back to the show, brother. How are you?
As long as I am the yin in that metaphor, it's fine with me. Happy senior day to you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So old. Actually, let's say hi to the chat. Let's see who we have out here with us.
We've got someone in the back.
Oh, did Joker finally blunder in?
I think so.
Cue up the scissoring hen video and let him come on in.
Set up a show. He shows up when he wants to. He is the nemesis of Gotham. No, that's wrong. I fucked that up too.
The Scourge of Gotham.
Scourge of Gotham.
The nemesis of the Dark Knight.
I've only been doing this intro for like, 2-3 months now. He's Joker voice. Welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you? I apologize for my blunder.
Oh, no problem, dear friend. It's, when you have to, when you're running from the bat, hello, my love. Hello, my dear.
Hello.
When you're running from the bat, sometimes schedules just don't work.
I understand.
Batmobile lost the wheel, and you got away this time, though, right?
And it's been nice having Mando with us. It's been a pleasure working with her these many weeks, but that's it for her. So we have Invader Zim with us. Welcome back, Zim. Nadia, welcome. Dempsey, good to see you. Melvin, deeply in from the UK, good to see you. Steven Ransom, welcome to the show. Ducka.
I like Zim's comment.
Of course. Riker 1776, Emperor Doomsday, America's 2001.
My editor, he his editing is
Gage
funny.
and Corey, welcome back. Salve, Mats, that it shouldn't be. The man who knows all the things about all the things. Alasia, welcome. We said hi to you earlier, but you know what? We love you so much. We're saying hi again. Your Barney is here.
Hey.
Nosferatu the vampire.
Okay.
I was about to ask if
Push
we
out
did
that
he
turd,
break?
right?
He made it to his birthday, but that was it, folks. He's out. He didn't even make it out of the stream.
Was that?
Let me call his wife to turn off StreamYard because it's always, yeah.
It'll just be on forever.
He fell asleep at the wheel, guys.
That is the chat right now. Welcome one
Nice.
all. Wait, what? What are you saying? What are you saying about me, Zim? That's true. That was one of I had. So Zim was one of our team members when we did deployment many years ago, and I had 4 basic rules that I had established. Fuck off. For my detachment. Oops, I lost. It's flaccid. Roman's finally legal. Yes. That is.
What is your? I'm curious what you're legal for. Like what have you? Are you now?
I
legal
believe
for what?
flaccid is implying that I can now start the Roman only site. So I don't think anybody wants to see that. There were a lot of strange comments about my balls on Twitter today.
Those
It
were
was funny at first, but then it can be too much. It can be too much.
And I took it personal.
Really weird, really fast.
Hence the reason I'm the yin and you're the yang, brother.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of this metaphor.
the balance to the universe. So I had 4 rules on my detachment. Don't touch my shit, which was basically don't steal stuff, but it implied don't touch my shit. Keep your shit tight, meaning do your fucking job right. Rule number 3 was no fucking, and rule number 4 was in the event of emergency, do not resuscitate chief. So that was rule number 4.
And again, every single one of those could be rephrased to be about your balls, and it's even more inappropriate. Just so
yes. Again, a lot of talk about the balls. I don't know how it started. It may
Mark
have
of Reality
been
also has a
Bushwick.
very pertinent question, Roman.
Wait,
Roman?
Where are we? Wait,
Mark of
who's the
Reality.
question?
Mark of Reality. Is he Roman or Sicilian?
Yes. The answer. Well, the answer is actually yes to both. You figure that out. It's actually not very hard. My superhero name isn't very good. So let's hop into the topic, shall we? Did I lose somebody? Is this everybody? Do I think I have everybody? I have everybody, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Chat, do I have everybody? Also, there is a poll tonight. How Roman is how old? So is it 45, 167, or How is he even alive? So that's and that one is currently winning at 62%. So so keep at the poll. Also, if you wouldn't mind horribly liking and subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate
Yes.
that. Had a couple more folks pop in here. Tris, welcome. Mark of Reality. Again, Cajun Corey commenting on my balls. And Jace Fox from the Netherlands popping in. Good to see you, brother. Okay, and what happened?
Jacob got taken out by the raccoons.
The raccoons again. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for Jacob. Is he Backstreet Klingon?
Yes.
There you go.
Thank God. I didn't know what I was letting in, folks.
That was
it got worrisome. It got worrisome. I'm like, what in the fuck is happening?
I actually did that. I hit the wrong button and kicked myself
So
off.
it wasn't the
button.
raccoons tonight, Jacob.
No,
the red
no, we
button is
switched
to
places
eat
tonight.
yourself. It is not good. It is not.
You didn't need to
lunch
confess,
meat.
Jacob. He could have just thought it was him. It's all right.
just blame Roman.
The raccoons was a better story. We'll stick with that. Oh goodness gracious! The chat. I'm flying solo on the controls tonight, as you probably gathered. Also, so bear with me if I don't pop it up on screen. I apologize. It's not.
I also have a poll going on in my chat. The three options are: how old is Roman? Older than bread. Dinos were still around, or how is he still alive? So right now, dinos were still around is winning.
Also, awesome. That's solid. Okay. All right. So let's hop.
Is this
into
the Roman that was alive during the dinosaurs, or is this a clone?
That's
that they
the
got
that's
from a
what,
mosquito?
Wait, we cloning? I didn't realize we were cloning now. That's woman's.
let me know how
Yes.
cloning
Yeah.
works because I've been trying to clone
Do
myself.
you have a tattoo of Injin on your shoulder?
See, it's things like this, folks. All right, so we are going to jump
Is he a
into
scroll?
Not a scroll. Zach's, are you out there? I didn't see Zach's pop
Hello,
in.
Zach.
Oh,
Yeah,
there he
He's
is.
in there.
He's in
Yeah,
your chat.
He's there.
There you go. Hey, Zach's, nice to have you here, buddy.
Canadian shoulders in the house.
Yeah, Zach's shoulders have a separate YouTube channel now.
Yeah.
Called, oddly enough,
Yeah.
Zach's Shoulders. It's
Nice.
it's worth checking out. So bringing up the box office this week, and it's I'm looking at the weekend first, then we'll jump into the dailies.
Let me guess. Barbie's
Barbie.
number one.
Still hanging
I
on.
don't get it. Why?
This
We also have a salty in the chat who says that you and he used to ride dinosaurs together as children.
that is actually factual. Yes. Pop set up the light guidance system that bounced off the top of the volcano, and then Salty and I would ride towards that on our dinosaurs. So Jacob, Barbie has
Start
that
somewhere.
odd appeal, not to people like us, but to a lot of other people, clearly. So, and the unfortunate thing is this, and we talked about this a little bit already. Hey, JT Gunn, and thank you. This is going to, this was like, you're going to see more of this now. And sadly, as we all know from, our many years of experience, some more than others, the second round of this is rarely as good as the first. So I don't know what these next products that they're going to dump on us are going to look like. And again, I didn't see Barbie. I don't have any interest in Barbie. It's nothing personal.
I might actually
care.
try and see it, but it will be on the high seas if I do see it. I'm not paying for that.
Well, my video today pointed out why everyone should go see this movie, because evidently it is now a relationship test for the angry feminists, and they think their men should go see it. So if you don't see the hatred in this
Lord.
movie, you should be able, if you go on a date with a woman and she says, "Hey, have you seen Barbie?" or "What do you think about Barbie?" I'm like literally at the point, just put $5 on the table and just leave. It's like a litmus test. Now, I don't think there's 40 chess going on here. I think it is just mean, angry feminist, scissoring hen type stuff. However, if you can do like Az and some others have talked about, see it as a satire, okay, there you go. But no, this is not going to end. Now it's become like an agenda thing, because I think this is their way of like, oh, look at how much money this make. You should make more of this. There is an audience for it. So I think that's what's happening. So
Okay.
Well, that is what they always do, though. I mean, even
Joker's so patient, so cute.
oh, I'm sorry, Joker. I'm looking at 10 different things. Just start screaming out, and I'll look down at the
I
screen.
don't want to. It's your birthday. I want to be nice.
Why now? Don't start. Don't mess this up.
Okay. I think there's something that we. I think it was Tom Connors that pointed this out. I want to say Tom. Is the movie horrible? Yes, but I think it taps into something that we, as a movie-going public, have overlooked and kind of forgotten about over the last at least decade, and that is the chick flick. This is a chick flick, and so it's a film that's made for women to go see, and we've kind of missed that for at least a decade. So that could be something that is driving the box office.
Yeah, it's not a guy movie they put a woman in who basically took the guy's role, who's really just a guy.
Right.
No, this is straight up woman-led vehicle, and people are loving it.
And it's a film that's made for women. So this is just something that, this is a genre that's been overlooked, and the women are just like, you know what? I'm going to go see this. This is made for me. It's about time. So regardless.
It's the biggest movie this summer, isn't it? It's over $1 billion now.
Yeah, it's huge.
Well, it's the biggest movie of the summer. Mario still is in the top spot for the year, though.
Yeah. But I mean,
because Mario is Nintendo, and Nintendo wants to rule the world.
Yeah. You look at down there at
I don't know this
9th place, Indiana Jones. That thing hasn't even made 400 million.
I know.
Has it?
Bro,
Well, yeah,
it's
I mean,
so bad.
well, when you're looking at the top 10 movies of this year, and the number 3 barely broke even, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is a bad year for the box office.
Yeah. There's no real.
Well, all the big movies, with those limited exceptions, have just tanked.
Yeah, Mission Impossible, dead franchise.
Well, Mission Impossible.
Yeah, two films in 8 months have profited. 2.
So again, I was still from my own video, but basically I did a video talking about Sound of Freedom succeeding. But
yes, that one as well. Sorry,
but we're at a point now where, let's face it, this summer, in my opinion, is a whole lot of movies that are okay that are all way too long. Like, there are good movies in there, but they're all too long. And when that's the message that most of us are putting out there, okay, listen, Guardians is okay, but it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Hey, this is 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is, even if people were like, I'd still go see it, they're like, I'll wait for streaming then. That's literally what the normies are telling me. They ask my opinion.
Like most people are going to wait for streaming. They don't want to spend that much money on something that's mediocre.
May not be that good. Yeah. Correct. Right.
And now
spend over 2 hours doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's more than that, because you got to get there and back, right? Sit through trailers. So you end up with these 3.5 hours of commitment to what? Sit through the Indiana Jones movie, to sit through Spider-Verse, which isn't even really a whole movie because it's to be continued. Sit through a Transformers abomination. Sit through. It's like every one of them is just a mess. And even Mission Impossible has really been the biggest bomb domestically. Like, no one wants to sit through 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's like, okay, now you've gotten greedy. And I think that's how the normies feel.
The 7th movie, part 1, because part 2 is coming out.
Yeah, and that's when most of the normies say they'll watch it. When part 2 comes out, I'll watch the first one. It'll be on streaming anyway. It's literally what everybody keeps saying to me. I'm like, it's not that bad. It doesn't feel as long as the other ones, but I get it. And I said, this is the year of the audience cut. There should be an audience cut of each one of these movies, and they'll all be better.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like, I've seen so many YouTube movies, like just random creators just trying to create their own like little movie or little something that are better quality than what Hollywood's throwing at us. Like it's crazy to think about. Just random people using just what little resources they have are making better things on YouTube than the big Hollywood producers with the $1 million budget.
Yeah, you got a Dust. They do really great, maybe 30-minute sci-fi shows, you know, and the effects are great. You know, everything about it is top notch. You know, the nice little vignettes, you know, like a 30-minute episode, and it's better than anything Hollywood is making.
Good thing. Well, a good thing that I've been watching this week. I just got caught up to it, and it's so good that I binged the entire thing as of this morning. The show on Max, Warrior. It is really, really good.
I've seen it pop up. I have not watched it yet. I'm kind of limited on my nighttime viewing, but so Warrior. Like I said, I've seen it pop up there. Is it subtitles?
No.
Okay.
Nope. And it was recommended by the Salty Nerd podcast. So I started watching it over this past the weekend, and I just got through season 3, episode 9 last night at work.
So something good out there.
It's very good.
When you find something good, you got to really hang on to that thing because there's not.
Yes.
You know, the fields are not right.
I'm also going
They're
back
in
and
fact dead
doing
and
things.
brown and dying.
I'm revisiting the things that in a different way. So, for instance, I'm going back and I rewatched all of Breaking Bad, and not that I hadn't watched Breaking Bad, I watched it in order. You know what I mean? Instead of watching, you know how season 3 is going to start. Let me catch up a little bit, but no, let's go back to the beginning. Watch it straight through, and I'm like, it was so joyful. It was so much more fun to watch something and digest it in that way instead of getting consumed. And I still do my videos and all this stuff. You guys know I balance that out, but it's about trying to find that healthy balance for you guys. And look, when it's streaming, I guarantee you're going to enjoy Guardians more than you should, because then you'll realize I was right. There's all these problems with it. You know, you'll go to Joker's voice and you'll hear his take on, the latest Disney Marvel abomination of what all these pitfalls, all these plot holes and things, because that's the consensus everybody says. It's okay, and then you hear us talk about it and go, that doesn't make sense after all. You're right. It should have been 20-30 minutes longer, less.
Yeah,
because there are some things that at first watch you're like, that was okay, that was all right, but then when you think about it for more than 2 seconds, you're like,
yeah, the Gamora problem my daughter caught. I was so proud. Roman, it hit me in the feels. I'm like, she's Pop's girl right there. She was like, it's like, something's wrong. It's not the. I'm like, that you're my girl. She just knew something was wrong. I was like, I'm so proud.
You know, it's things like that just keep us going.
It does. It is another year, another candle on the cake, baby. Another candle on the cake right there.
And at the very least, there are like some people waking up. Like maybe they'll just come across one of our random videos talking about this stuff, and they're like, "I'm glad that there are other people who have the same opinion I do."
This was a bit of sad news out of the week. If I can get the computer to cooperate with me, which is like a 40-60 deal. We all know that. And that would be the passing of director William Friedkin, who most of us know as the director of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And French Connection. But The Exorcist really for me was the quintessential Friedkin movie. Other people will have other things, but that was it for me. I mean, he wasn't a spring chicken. He had a good run, and man, he left a good legacy. So rest in peace. Not most directors don't. They'll have a decent longevity, but then they don't always leave us with the fields of gold.
Well, the best thing from the French Connection is the car chase, because parts of it are real, and the director was actually sitting in the back seat. So that's crazy.
Wow.
Robbie Robertson also died this week too.
He did. Yes, co-founder of the band. For those who may or may not know. Oh, holy crap, Gray! What? Well, that's not Gray. That's Zim. Zim is invading Gray space. Gray.
Hey, Gray.
What's up, Gray? I am feeling Genki today, and I'm saying it wrong because I say it wrong. So, this the funny story of the week. I'm going to start with
comment there, Pops. Yeah, I saw your comment.
I'm going to start with the Blaze first. If I bring up the graphic, here we are. So Anheuser-Busch is selling off 8 of their brands after the oops.
Like you would have thought, like they should have known their target audience.
Yeah, but did you see who they're selling these?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Selling it to
Cannabis companies.
So there a lot of these you haven't heard of. I mean, Shock Top you probably have, Blue Point, Breckenridge, Red Hook, and Highball. So a couple of those.
I've heard of all of these.
But yeah, you're a bartender.
That's true. See, I'm left behind.
Has there ever been a protest movement though that has stuck like this, like because even like things I remember of, like, you know, with a Starbucks, or you have lefties that hate on Chick-fil-A and things like that, but nothing has stuck long term or damaged a brand this magnitude, like 42%. Like, this is nuts. This is like,
so there's something about that.
Yeah, it's like
this was
changing.
Preloaded, because here's the thing about this. So I live in a town like maybe 120,000 metro area, right? There are no less than 4 brew pubs making their own beer, selling their own beer. That's much better.
Yeah.
So you already had people leaving these big brands because they suck, and there's other choices. Plus, you remember once upon a time you couldn't have a liquor ad on TV. You could only have beer. Now you have whiskey and bourbons. How many different types of bourbons are there now? And
too many.
You know, and then there's legal marijuana. There's so many different choices other than just drinking crappy beer that people are using it. And then when something like this comes on where, okay, they saw that their numbers were dipping, they tried to increase them, their inclusivity thing. They went after a fraction of the percentage of the population and just pissed off whole, segments of people. People are ready to leave these people already, and this was just the thing they needed, the push they needed to go find something better. This isn't a boycott anymore. This is actually a brand change.
That's what
people
I mean. It's like
not going back.
It's so weird though to live through the fact that this wasn't just a boycott. It become a meme. It become a virus in the system. To like now, it's like something that's a stigma. And Joker, you could probably speak to this. Being in a bar, like I see a stigma among the normies of I don't want to be seen with a Bud Light.
Oh yeah,
At least where I live, there's been a slight drop in the consumption of Anheuser-Busch products, but not enough to where it changes and it's not enough to where we're ordering less.
Mm-hmm.
So
it kind of reminds me when heavy metal died in the 90s. Remember when all of a sudden this boom, it was gone?
Mendo! Rex is here.
Rex!
Sister!
Goodness gracious. Hi, Jana. Thank you, Ken.
You started this, Roman.
I did, and I regret it. But here we are. So I believe Modelo has actually filled that hole that Anheuser-Busch market shares were taking before.
Right.
And again, it's funny because this isn't even like a tough one.
I don't drink.
You don't need to be reading the market.
I don't think I've ever had a Bud Light.
You
Beer.
And Bush.
No, but it's a very
that smell if you go into like an abandoned building and it's cat spray smell.
Yeah, it's piss water. Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it tastes like.
I've just never been a beer person.
Much better options out there local.
Yeah.
Well, true. Yeah. I mean the IPA market, because San Diego, many places, but the IPA market out here was huge. But that's been taking a big dip. Kind of.
Those are gross too.
No.
Yes, they are.
Agree to disagree.
They're disgusting.
You're wrong, but it's fine. but they've taken a dump too. It's just
Because
taste change. Budweiser
gross.
didn't need. Well, who is okay? A Joker? No, I didn't boot you. I was gonna boot you. I was so close. But with the Bud Light brand, I mean, that's again, know your audience.
Well, I mean, like
and-
the
You know
whole
what?
brand
Other-
of Bud Light has been blue collar workers,
Yeah.
just mom
Frat
and pop, deep south.
frat boys and
Cheap
frat
beer.
boys.
Cheap
Yeah.
beer to get,
Yeah.
Well, I don't expect it's going to impact the frat boys tons, but definitely the vast blue collar market that it ate, because it's inexpensive. You can have a few
and
beers. in the
other
evening
other
and,
companies
still
out
maybe
there
get the construction
look
site
to
in the morning.
Budweiser. Look to Bud Light. That's what
Right.
happens when you do that.
But I think this is where Blair, you were 100% right, is it does affect the frat boys because the frat boys can go to the cooler and just grab something else so easily.
Mhm.
Now there's a stigma. I don't want to be photographed or have a Bud Light in my hand.
Oh,
so now I'm
that's
just
a good
going to do
point,
this
Bob.
instead. So it's like a combination of all that moved it from boycott to meme. And I think that's what's so fascinating about this story, why it's even remotely interesting.
Mhm.
Because I still know lefties that won't go to Chick-fil-A. But that's sort of like, that's rare now compared to how it was, let's say, 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like those kinds of things. But this doesn't seem like there's an end anytime in sight, like at all, because it was just
Nothing.
easy to move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
The market was so saturated anyway. Like
Yes.
the companies were fighting for that number one spot already, and when it's taken down, like there's like 4 or 5 ready to just swoop in and take its place.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing was like primed for something like this happen, and then when it did, boom.
Yeah,
Well, even with the drop, I mean, the Modelo now is creeping up. Bud Light was the number one sold beer. It's still the number one sold beer.
For
But
now.
for now. But I'm just saying. But I'm just saying that that's how far down that's how good Bud Light had it. There was no one even close to them.
Yeah. They owned beer for years.
Like beer and Bud Light were kind of synonymous for a while.
But
We had the
those
Bud Bowl, the little Bud Light Bowl.
Let's
You
leave
know,
them on.
and
I want to see the Bud Light Bowl now. That's
oh
great.
God,
and some of the other brands that Anheuser-Busch owns, like Busch, and they've been drunk by generations of people,
Right.
Oh yeah.
and
And
now
people are not
they've
wanting to drink that anymore.
thrown those people under the bus.
Yeah. And they get the younger generation. They don't want to drink their grandparents' beer.
No,
They want
No.
their own.
A lot of the younger generation, they don't drink Bud Light anyway. So Anheuser-Busch was going for a demographic that really doesn't exist for them.
Exactly. Yeah, these are more of your flavored bourbon people, or your flavored vodkas, or your flavored seltzer water type stuff.
I hate them.
Sounds like Marvel Comics marketing plan to me. So, yep,
They took a
you're
page
not
from
wrong,
them,
my
that's for
friend.
sure.
absolutely. Every time I open a comic book and it's pink and magenta and light blue, I'm like, oh, yep, there it is. It's a Bud Light program right there for me.
Yep.
All right. So speaking of comics,
Yeah, let's go to that one.
pull this up,
Is this Chuck?
and this oddly enough is from Fox News.
Yep.
Punisher
still
writer
relevant?
hits comic book giants Marvel, DC for woke shift. Only hire people who agree with them. And Chuck Dixon goes into why Marvel hates the Punisher because of who identifies with him. Wow. But it's not a wow. I mean, for those of us who've been around for a minute, it's not a wow. Gender erased, or gender and race swapped, again. And these are the things that we've all been talking about. I like
So, Bob,
where we
so-
get
so-
down to the. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Pops, why don't you give a little background on who Chuck Dixon is to folks in the audience who who may not know who this legend is.
Yeah. So, Chuck is in this category of like the greatest writers of all time that people don't talk about, right? There's like 10 or 15 of these incredible writers and influential writers. And he, during that 90s boom that we talk about with comic books, he was basically running all of the Batman titles and that kind of thing, coordinating through major storylines like Nightfall and stuff like that. But obviously his work from Punisher and Punisher War Journal, and he's left his footprint everywhere he goes. He has an incredible YouTube channel, these incredible videos. He is in a place in his life and his career where he has sort of like that FU money and that attitude. So he pretty much just tells it like it is. So the fact that he was able to get with Fox News and share and pull the curtain back on Marvel and DC and all this stuff is just so refreshing and rewarding. And I'm so happy that it was him. And I'm also certain, right, he's also signed on to go to Rippaverse.
Correct.
To work with Eric. So all of that is also going to create publicity. If people are Googling, they will see. He is he's written so many novels. He's written so many comic books. If you could think of a character, I mean, he's done Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, how many comic book writers could write Batman, Punisher, and a Nightmare on Elm Street comic book? I mean, it's just, he's that kind of guy, and he knows his stuff. And Punisher, these are people that don't like guns. They don't like the military.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like anything has to do with masculinity and
Cops.
actual vengeance. Any of these things. Punisher is all those things on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, except the earliers with the white with the go-go boots. Maybe not those.
From the article, and I like this part a great deal. I'm hopeful about the future of comics because when DC and Marvel basically shed most of their readership, those people still want comics, and they just don't want their comics. They don't want to be preached to. They don't want to be scolded. So now they're going through, people looking at back issues, and Marvel and DC has driven away loyal readers to who? Independent artists.
Yep. The Iron Age.
Good. That's where it should.
Including Chuck Dixon. He is also going to work for Independent.
Well, he's also working on like a Conan novel. He's working on the Rippaverse stuff. And I just want to point out, because someone, I don't know if it was Matt, Bearable 73, that shouldn't be, or if it was someone else, but Matt would know this as well, is I'm pretty sure it's one of Walt Simonson's great Thor runs is like the hardcover omnibus or whatever is not in print. So all they've done is created a market for eBay and whatever for the prices to go up.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of actually make smart decisions to make money. So they don't even understand something that's not offensive. Like, that's not even an offensive run. That's literally a cash cow sitting on the shelf. So these people are just so disconnected from how things should operate. It goes beyond even what Chuck is doing. Chuck is just poking them in the eye, which I think is perfect.
Yes.
He's untouchable. He's untouchable.
Yeah, they're making really bad business decisions all over the place. It's like a race who can ruin it the fastest.
Yeah, who can end it first?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like who can get rid of most money the fastest.
I have said multiple times, if if Magic Wand, you're in charge of DC Comics, Chuck is the phone call. Chuck is the phone call. What would you want to do, and how much does it cost me? You know what I mean? Like, how much? What do I do? And then you ask Chuck, now who do I call?
Exactly.
He's that kind of person. It's not as though it's some rando. It's like Mike Barron. Mike, what would you want to do? How much does it cost me? And who do I call next? Like, if these are the people that are so good at what they do, instead of alienate them into the independent sphere, which is what they've done, they should be the ones that are running the show.
And look what they're doing now as independents. They're doing better than they ever did under those places.
Yeah.
They are laughing all the way to the bank. And good for them.
And I don't know if you guys know Angry Canadian. He's a total comic book noob. We've gotten to know each other a lot. He's been on with Gray. And we just did a comic book talk. And a lot of what we talked about was how much we just enjoy Gunslinger Spawn, Image comic books, independent comic books. So either one of us are sitting there counting the minutes until the next issue shows up. It's just crazy. So anyway, I'm sorry. I can rant and rave about this. This one hit a nerve. This one hit a nerve. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of Angry Canadian on Twitter. That's where I've interacted with him.
Yeah.
Well, one of the legends is talking about current state.
Yep.
Yeah.
And current state. I mean, it's. He also mentioned in that article that they will only F with Batman so much because that's still their giant. That's the one that never goes away as far as sales go. So he's like, he's risen from the dead 100 times. So he thinks at least Batman can survive in the modern environment.
They take advantage of the fans' loyalty by having stupid things happen to Batman. Like, yes, Gray. Gray, you got me to read a couple of issues, and then suddenly he's in space, and there's no freaking reason he could survive this in space. He's still a human being, but we're all supposed to pretend that that's not actually happening. It's like it makes my head hurt on how dumb and retarded it all is, and that's what's so frustrating. And that's why I'm so happy that Chuck getting published on Fox News gets this to some of those normies that didn't even know this was a thing.
Well, also,
I think that the worst thing that they've done was to Superman when they took his powers away and put him in prison.
Then sodomized.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great modern writing.
Yeah.
And like these stupid things, like with the example with the Batman, like there's a difference between if a comic is supposed to be dumb and funny and just not make any sense versus everything up to that point is logical, it makes sense, we understand there's lore behind it, there's a reason behind it, and then all of a sudden what? Because like I would expect Batman to be in space like in the old detective comics when it was like slapstick, like golly gee, Robin, what's going on?
Or even the Justice League Batman. He's in space, but he has a spacesuit on.
Yep.
Or he's on the Watchtower, or
correct
in a javelin. No,
it's so dumb. It is Batman issue 129. It makes your head hurt. And Copa, by the way, says I have fail-safe storyline. Right before the fail-safe storyline comes to its first conclusion, they have a space issue. It just makes my head hurt. I just stopped. It took me about 2 weeks before I could read 130 to figure out how they didn't stick the landing even more so. To go to Copa, he said, I haven't read Gunslinger Spawn, but he looks cool. That's enough for me. Listen, Copa, if you want to have like 90s fun, just cool stuff with that sort of feel, the Brett Booth art, oh my gosh, it is to die for. There's more details in the guns and the blood splatter than there is on main characters in DC Comics. Kid you not. Some of those books are just incredible looking. Even if there's not much going on, it's like I recorded a review. Here's spoiler alert coming up. A Predator review. I revisited Predator Big Game from 1991. I'm like, look, if you want story, Predator's probably not for you. But if you want to have some fun and guns and blood splatter and heads chopped off, Predator comic books are for you. Gunslinger Spawn is kind of the same thing with a little bit more story. Not a ton. And it's drawn out a little bit, but it's fun. My gosh, it's so much fun.
Actually, Andrew, hey. Yeah, just fun stuff. That's all we want. Just fun.
Why is it so hard to just let us have what we want? It's not like we're asking you to do these weird, crazy things.
In the modern world, have you not gotten the message yet, Mando?
Yes, I know. All men are bad, and all women are no longer women. We're birthing people, and I don't even know.
The message.
Well, something caught my eye from last month that I missed. As if I needed another reason to love Jenna Ortega. She's in that same mindset as Emily Blunt. When she sees the terms strong female character, her mind says, okay, that's a 2-dimensional character that's boring. And I'm like,
correct. She's way mature beyond her years. However, I want to say one thing, Mando. And Roman, you'll back me up as an old man who has a small bladder. When you're at a gas station or a restaurant or whatever, and the men's room is occupied for some reason, the ladies' room is open.
Oh yeah.
I don't really feel like as much of a creep going in there now. Y'all don't have a right to question me. So
I mean, I've had this same issue like on a very long trip, and the women's restroom was out of order. It's like,
listen, the shame is gone. They can't have it both ways. They used to be able to kind of shame you or think you're creepy. No, it's gone now. You don't have a right to judge me. I was
bladder
I
identifies
identify as a
as
different
a-
sex at
my
this
bladder
moment. I need to
identified
use
as a
that.
female bladder 10
Yes.
minutes ago.
It's small and it's
I've had a very
making me
long
hurt. So, yeah.
woman part. Too.
Yeah, quite so.
From the time I parked till the time I leave, I identify as whatever bathroom is open.
Exactly.
God help us
Yup.
all.
There have been so many like on long trips, like weird bathrooms. I'm like, oh, I identify as something else that ain't gonna use whatever that bathroom is right now. I'm gonna use the other one that looks clean.
Yeah, right.
Well, if it's clean, it's probably the ladies' room. It's almost certainly not the
always.
men's room.
No,
Not
not
always,
always.
not always.
Always.
You girls are nasty. You girls are nasty.
Yup. Absolutely.
Like I
There have
said.
been times I've looked inside a woman's bathroom and I said, I identify as a man right now. See ya.
My mother never prepared me for that because I was in
No.
college and I had like the low person on the totem pole was in charge of doing restroom detail. And I remember it was like day 2 or day 3 and it was still like that. Like the first time it happens, you think, oh, someone, second time, oh gosh, this is weird. By the time you get the third time, you're like, okay, listen, what is the deal with the ladies? You're like, what is, and then later on in life, when you're older and around women, they eventually tell you, yeah, this is how this works. I'm like, this is really bad. You guys' reputation is not, this is not fair at all. Because we
That's
don't
why they
operate
have-
like this. This is crazy.
That's why the women's room has the pre-room. You go in, it has a little couch and all that stuff before you
Some,
go to the
not
real
all.
room.
Not all of them, but they need it, I guess. Wow.
Well, there are some,
Yeah.
like, I feel like there are some women that when they use the restroom, I'm just like, girl, you needed to have like some sort of pamphlet to teach you how to use the toilet properly. Because whatever you
And
did,
welcome
is
to
not how it's
Restroom Talk on Roman of the Empire.
This is
It's okay,
real.
Roman.
I
You're
don't
so old,
know.
you
I
won't
don't-
remember it even happened.
I don't know what happened or how we got here, but damn. So there was another. So we'll stick with the comic book theme for a minute. This is from our friends over at Geeks and Gamers. So they, you love them, and then it's like, shut up, stop talking. Invincible comic carrier talks diversity.
Yeah.
On Invincible. It's race swapping, gender, whatever. And he said, there's a line in here. I suppose if I look hard enough, I'll find it. Talking about, well, we were just dumb white guys in the 90s written comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
and-
line kills me every time I hear it or something like it.
God forbid they live in LA and they didn't want to make everything like LA they think should be.
So I mean, and this is just I wanted to pop this in. I like the Invincible show. I didn't read the
I do.
comics, so I
never read the
unfortunately I
comics.
don't I don't
liked it.
have the
I haven't
predisposed.
watched it or read the comics yet. It's on the list.
However, I will say that the college girlfriend was insufferable. Did not like her one bit.
Yeah.
And I will say the other thing that bothers me the most about the animated show, and I'm sorry if you haven't seen it, and I'm going to break it, and you'll not be able to unsee it, especially when they were in the school. For some reason, we don't draw any background at all. It's just blank colors. There's no details. They're just walking by blank walls, and it happens.
Kind of how it feels like being in high school anyway.
Oh
though.
no! This is way worse than you can imagine. When you watch the show, you're going to be so just like, wait a minute, there's nothing in the background. Like there's
Well,
I
Okay.
it's a lot of time
My
to draw
high
that
school
crap.
had
so-
white concrete walls for most of it. So it. I mean, besides a few lines here and there, I didn't
Well,
pay attention.
there
But
wouldn't
that's
be-
just me.
if you
Make
watch
it on.
like watch Batman animated series, they would have put in all the details on the concrete, just so you know.
Yeah.
They would have
The
that.
amount of time it takes them to put this series out.
There should be some details and better
Yeah,
character
'cause
development.
They do because what is it? 2 years? 2
At
years
least.
since
Mhm.
this new season is coming out, and it's not coming out for a while. Season 1 was at least 2 years ago. It's just impressive. Like, okay, you're putting all this time into, make it magical, make it a magical. But it is still for me a fun watch. And like I said, I haven't read the books. There's a lot of them now, and I'm old, and I would probably
I know
got through them.
that article he mentioned that Kirkman was talking, all these people come up to me and they thought the kid was Filipino or Asian or Mexican or whatever, and I'm like, we're so glad I was able to see a Mexican or a whatever represented. Okay, well now you've like kiboshed all that because you've stamped him as just half Korean, half alien. So what happened to all those people who identified with him? Now they can't. You know.
Well, the half Korean, half aliens are thinking, I finally got my guy.
Our time has come, finally, damn it.
It's just one of those things where there are only so many boxes that you can have in a show or whatever before it just doesn't make sense anymore. Like, it already didn't make sense.
And the girlfriend is the same character in every one of these shows. You know, she's an insufferable brat know-it-all that you don't need in your life. Dump her.
And the problem with where you say that you can only check off so many boxes. This is where intersectional comes in to create more boxes.
Mm-hmm. The next thing is now Mark is going to be gay or bi or something.
Oh, don't you do that to Mark?
Well, gay. Well, like gay. You know, gay amputee, something, just so you can.
It's like the Oppression Olympics, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? I'm back. So we went from, Chuck Dixon to that. Ducka. Oh, we're going to bounce around with topics a little bit because I wanted to get to this one in the first hour. This will come as a shock to almost no one, but Will from Stranger Things is gay.
Shocking.
Good thing I haven't seen Stranger Things, so.
Yeah, really. Who? I don't care.
I stopped watching Stranger Things midway through season 2.
That's where most people, I think, stopped. From my friends who have watched Stranger Things, they said after season 3, it doesn't really matter anymore until it gets to like season 6.
Yeah.
No, there is no season 6. There's no
That's
season
the point.
6. So I guess the kid who plays the kid just had his coming out.
The kid who plays the kid?
He's a dude, playing a dude, pretending to be another dude.
Another dude, gotcha.
This is I don't know. So this is now a self-insertion piece, I guess. Last season, if you watched last season, it was very obvious that this was the case. Was it this before? I don't know. I don't care.
I just so many jokes now. So many jokes. You said he's gay, and this is a self-insertion project now.
And immediately phrasing became an important part of Roman's life. So sorry about that. Sorry, everyone. Okay. So anyway,
everyone's supposed to be gay and lesbian now. I feel like that's kind of the thing.
Yes.
Like if you are not gay or lesbian,
it's
then
a lot.
You are the bad guy.
It's definitely an overrepresentation based on actual, numbers.
Cannoli. Oh God.
Sorry.
Oh dear.
I almost spit up some Dr. Pepper there. Thank you.
Right.
So anyway, why does this matter? I don't fucking know. I know that anytime you because now you're forcing the issue. I mean, like I said, it was like heavily implied last time, but it was heavily implied last time. You're changing the course of something. I think this is last season anyway, if I'm not mistaken.
And here come the jokes.
But oh dear. Okay, so anyway, that's Will is gay.
Yay. Okay.
Gay.
Well, and I'm gonna go back just for a second though. The fact that they have to put this, you have to dump it out into the press before the show comes on.
It means that you're desperate.
Yeah.
It's like So
I'm looking forward to the time when a character is gay and like literally nobody cares and anyone say anything about it. It's like,
Yeah.
we knew.
Just in the background.
Yep.
I mean, like in anime, like I'm an anime fan, so like in anime for years now, if a character's gay, bi, lesbian, or whatnot, you're just like, is the love story good? Yes, fabulous. If the love story sucks, it's like,
Oh God, I can only.
what the hell are you doing?
Oh, yeah, no, that's exactly correct, Zach. I know I do. In
Yeah,
every room,
yeah.
every room I ever
Right,
enter.
of course, always.
My family's getting sick of hearing it, but I'm doing it anyway.
But I mean, some gay men announce that when they walk in the door. I mean, just look at how they're dressed. So there you go.
Hi, how are you? Welcome in.
Oh my gosh!
I'm here, guys.
He's not here
Yeah.
to appreciate the humor at his
When,
expense.
when they go out to the town square and say, "Hey, you guys, I'm gay."
Hey, you guys, I'm here. Like, so
Yeah,
here.
And
Not
queer.
Oh my God.
Yay!
Let's see. What?
Now all of the panelists have now become gay. You're
right.
welcome.
Yes. Well, actually, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch, formerly Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch, she
She's
actually
sassy.
made me gay. She made me gay last week with that picture of Lizzo.
You go, girl.
Oh God.
And
Oh.
that
No.
immediately,
Not
and I think
again.
it happened to a lot of us. I think a lot of us became gay after that.
I mean, I got
you know,
straighter than I already was. So.
So you're keeping some on our team, but you're losing. You're losing others. Yeah,
It's like that
gay.
Ace Ventura
Gay,
when
gay,
he came
gay,
out of
gay.
the.
Now I'm gay.
Oh, Zim! No, Zim.
No,
Whoa! That got so weird so fast. We're gonna jump over to.
I was gonna
Nicolas
comment
Cage.
that I was watching Charlie the Unicorn earlier today, and it had bananas in it. If you don't know what
Wait,
Charlie the Unicorn is,
Charlie,
it's
like,
okay.
Is that the Mando, come with us, Mando? That Charlie the Unicorn?
Oh no, yeah. So like it, it's the Candy
Oh,
Mountain,
Shield.
Charlie, Candy
Shield.
Mountain. It's the Leo Pleurodon. You know that. Yeah. You should, America. I think you would really enjoy it. You should look up Charlie the Unicorn on YouTube. I think you would
I
enjoy
hear
it.
Roman really likes that song. B is
And
bananas.
llamas with hats.
This place is bananas. BANANAS.
All right, I actually have no idea what's happening now, so we're going to hop to our next topic. And that is Nicolas Cage is making 47 movies this year, and you should try to find
What?
at least 46 of them.
Don't
So,
care.
retirement plan. I thought this one looked fun. The plot looks pretty standard. Retired assassin, estranged daughter. She ends up in his, needing his help. Hilarity ensues. Father and estranged daughter bond again, and he's probably brought back into the action. So, but I still think it looks fun. I don't know what that was. There's a.
Are we gonna
I
get
wanted to
a
try
Nicolas
for.
Cage Gandalf?
God, I hope not.
That would
Just
be nice.
Less Nicolas Cage. Less Nicolas Cage. I can't stand him.
Everybody
Ugh.
likes
He's
Nicolas.
great.
No. He
Daughter.
is not great. He is. He is a fucking tool. Cannot stand him.
His
I
daughter
kinda
look is
liked
killing
him in Ghost
people.
First one.
Oh, but
Yeah, I think
Ernie
this looks
Hudson is
fun.
in it, which I do. I
Mando,
really like.
you take that back. Take it
Yeah,
back.
What did Mando
Take
say?
it
I
back.
thought
What?
he was okay in it.
He was just being Nicolas Cage. This is the
Greatest
problem.
actor of his generation, sir.
80% of Nicolas
No.
Cage.
Search his name.
No,
He's the best
No.
actor at playing himself ever.
Exactly.
no.
He's the best Nicolas
Yes.
Cage.
I'm
ever.
not going to disagree there. I just thought that the first Ghost Rider was pretty
Was
okay.
terrible. It's
I
a
liked
terrible film.
Yeah,
To
it
start with.
was. It was not good. I mean,
It's a terrible
come
film,
on.
and Nicolas Cage made
The only
made it
thing that
worse.
was cool was Ghost Rider when he
That's
didn't
what I
have
was
Nicolas
thinking.
Cage's
It's the-
face.
the
What
flaming
movie did he
motorcycle,
do where he came back from hell? He's the driver. He's trying to get his granddaughter, save his granddaughter. He stayed
Gone
in
in
hell.
60 seconds.
Was it? No.
I was joking. I was kidding.
I can't remember.
That
That was the same plot.
Nicolas Cage has had one good role, one his entire career, leaving Las Vegas, and he won an Oscar for it. If Nicolas Cage could stop being Nicolas Cage, he might be a decent actor.
The only thing that made The Rock good was
I'm an FBI agent.
Sean Connery made that movie.
Sean Connery made that movie, man.
Yeah.
Yes, also the last installment of the James Bond films for those.
I'm only borrowing a Humvee.
Let's see. What were we going to hop over to?
So before the show, we were talking about that clip. Was that what Nicolas Cage really looks like in real life? He's not dyeing his hair.
Yes,
being
let me
manscaped.
pull that up again. Where is it? Nick Cage retirement plan. Yeah, I think, and this is me as an elderly gentleman. I think this is probably more Nick Cage than the Nick Cage you usually get.
Yeah, he probably is more gray and blondie or.
Actually, I do take it back. He had one other good role. It was recently where he's beating up all the furries and doesn't say one word. Doesn't say one word, and I'm like,
that was a good one.
I don't know what that movie is, but
I can't name it. Yeah,
it's kind of a take on Five Nights at Freddy's kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like a Chuck E. Cheese,
right?
Group come after.
Yeah, no Copa. That is definitely not true.
I'm not going to put that up, but it's fucking hilarious. Okay, Nick Cage. Oh dear Lord, you started a war, Joker. You started a war.
That's fine.
Oh my God! Again, folks, it gets weird quickly around here.
Rails?
So
what rails?
I thought this was an interesting story. It's not like wow, but I thought it was interesting. So down in Orlando, the Disney district is getting rid of all the programs and staffers. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good.
And they're saving millions of dollars and lowering the tax rate.
Yes. Yes.
The programs that
does
did
it again.
Nothing. Oops, sorry, you're seeing the whole list. That do nothing but hamper business, drive away customers, but it does get their what's that? What are the alphabet
ESG
numbers?
score?
ESG score.
Yeah,
up.
Yes.
That's why they did it, and they actually made these people fill out forms requiring them to go through all these hoops to prove. And it just added the money. It was just so expensive to do that versus.
Oh, okay. It has gone even beyond that. When advertisers come to buy airtime for their products, Disney is like, okay, we thank you for this check. Now, before we cash this check, we want you to fill out this survey, just so we know you are of the same mind as us. And if you're not, we're going to give you your check back.
Okay, I'm going to advertise somewhere else.
Fuck off, then.
Yeah,
I need
really.
to interject briefly. I just got a text from Mrs. of the Empire, who either I'm being very loud or she's actually watching the show this evening.
Oh wow.
Hi.
Valley Girl is the best Nicolas Cage film, and it's not even close. And you're not allowed to argue with Mrs. of the Empire because
I will.
we're here.
You're on. Let's go.
So you're going to get brought into
got plenty
Empire
of
Diversity and Inclusion Program, which is going to exclude Joker. So
Mrs. Roman of the Empire.
I'm technically the diversity hire for this panel, right? I've got the weird haircut and I'm the lady here, right? That's
you're the only reason there is an ESG score for this show. Are you kidding me?
What about Blair? I thought that's why we hired Blair.
What?
Did I get that wrong again?
Wizards don't count as much as you think they do.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Because
White wizard.
what?
Okay, roll good.
Me being a woman is like half a point now, if you adjust the ESG scores for inflation and stuff. And then the haircut is like 2 points for the ESG score. So like we've already up, we're up to like 2.5, 3 points.
You actually got an extra 0.13% this week because I pretended to be female to use the bathroom about 3 days ago. So
we all did that. So we get a bump in our ESG score.
Oh, that is
Yes,
so
I think we're at like a 5
I
now.
did a
We're
5.
going through the roof, folks. We're going through the roof.
It's skyrocketing here around the road. But I want to open an invitation up to Mrs. Roman of the Empire. If you ever want to get in front of the camera and come on a show, you're more than welcome to come to a nice, safe space like my show. We will hang out and we will talk about your husband. So forget about all of this pop culture stuff. We will just discuss what's your story behind the Roman.
Honey?
What's your? Oh, I love it. That's a great idea.
That sounds like
Yes.
a good idea.
The
Hey,
phone hasn't-
it's open. The door is there.
But,
Jana knows that we can pull that curtain back on Copa's
There's
story any
technological
day she
difficulties.
likes. We can just-
New pop series.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's
Fuck.
your story
Ruins
behind the creator?
Roman of the Empire, behind the scenes,
Dun, dun, dun.
Behind the curtain.
behind the ball.
Behind the
fan.
green screen.
It was a summer. It was so nice.
It's all we shoot it all. It's
I
all
don't
done
know
in
what
black and
happened to
white.
it.
It's like everyone knows Roman Empire and his streams. But let's learn tonight
All
what
of those
the real
questions you've
story
been
is.
asking,
They
like
don't know
how
is
does
he
Roman have a
actually
ball
hates comic
fan?
book characters.
Where does he get his information from? And
He's
how
actually
does
not old
he-
at all. It's like one of those Mission Impossible masks. He pulls it off.
Right.
He's 42.
Ah,
Find it all out on Behind the Scenes with Roman.
He doesn't wear Iron Maiden t-shirts. He wears polos and button downs. He can't even.
Yeah. Get this,
And listens to
get this
Journey.
t-shirt
all
out of
day
here.
long.
It's terrible.
oh no.
He likes being spanked. He likes being spanked and calls me mommy.
Oh my!
It's like one of those old projector
Oh,
screens. He
there's
goes
no-
behind him and he kind of pulls the little lever and it goes up. There's no action figures there. It's like all these
Uh-huh.
fancy bookshelves and stuff like that.
Lighthouse figurines.
It's like Wizard of Oz. Like he's
lots
like
and lots
doing
of
the-
cats. I don't
all of this
understand why, but there's cats everywhere.
that and
I don't
like
know, wait,
the
how
Wizard
did
of Oz.
this-
Like there's nothing behind the curtain. You don't see anything.
Yes.
What?
Roman is actually a crazy cat man. He has
Yeah,
cats
okay,
everywhere.
Man, that got
Cats of the Empire.
Cats of the Empire. Actually, she did send me a text about the dog, though. Pip is sleeping in front of the garage door, so don't burst into the house like Elliot Ness.
Let's do some good.
Hashtag Elliot Ness references reset the clock.
Right?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see here. We got a couple more topics to hop into.
While you're doing that, since we're doing wife stories, Mrs. Pops, I had to check in with Mrs. Pops during the little Pops break there for a second. She's telling me a story about my grandson. It's a first day of school, right? It's the first day of school today. So he's going into fourth grade. They're discussing
Very important grade.
different things. So who anyone he's discussing this one kid. He's like, "Don't you like that kid?" He's like, "No, I don't like that kid at all." It says, you know, Granny, some people's heads just not screwed on quite right. And I'm like,
That's
and I
a
said,
good
I'm
kid.
so proud because I think he's watched The Grinch one too many times. That's what I think
Very
right there.
nice.
Very proud.
Raising a very good young in there.
Yep.
Based.
8 years old.
Teach him
Those are
young.
the days. Not get the memo. We'll start here. So,
Oh God.
the Blue Beetle director just cannot get out of his own way.
Thank
Got
God.
his hands on his Twitter account again.
He
and-
wants to see his movie. I think he wants to be forever known as the biggest box office flop. Like he wants to make like 30 million. It's like he's already projected to make less than 100. So it's like how low
Well-
can we go, sort of thing.
It's just
Well, he's saying that.
Do you
opening
think they
is gonna be
inflated
30,
that
you know.
30 million number, Pops?
I think so because before it was like what 12,
12. It was 12.
and all
I
of a
think
sudden
this
it's
is some
30.
box office trickery we're seeing.
Yeah.
Just to make it look like it's going to do better, which means maybe people will go see it because they think it's going to do better. You know, that weird psychology bullshit.
and again, these are just folks whose films are these. This is someone who knows there's never that he's not going to get a sequel. He's not part of Gunn's plan, and this film is a one-off. This film is a creative dead end.
Yeah, it was like a holdover, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
all
what,
that
that's
is
our
dead.
next story is gonna. Yeah, the next story really hits that. This is the thing that bothered me slightly, a little bit, about his vision of who Bane is. Soto shared. As far as Bane goes, the comics that are about Bane's story, it felt like he's very misunderstood, much like the Carapax. I don't know what that is in the movie. He's a product of his environment, and that history has been buried. The history of the Caribbeans, the Antilles. Am I?
Yeah.
Like Wedge Antilles from Star Wars. That was real.
Until there's an island chain.
It's a history that's brushed off. It's a history that's brushed off in history books. Not good phrasing, but whatever. So
Bane's just misunderstood. He's not a real
villain.
villain.
This drives me fucking batty, man. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Bane is a product of a South American prison.
He blames it all on white colonial 1950s crap.
Important.
I mean, pops. Have they in Batman the animated series? Have they gotten to Bane yet? To where you're at?
Oh no, I'm not anywhere close to Bane. Bane doesn't come along until a little bit later on. I mean, I've seen them before. I know which ones we're talking about.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, again, we're back to Chuck Dixon type stuff, right? You're making Chuck Dixon the co-creator of Bane, and I was there when Vengeance of Bane dropped. And this is a character that's been around like in my heyday. This guy's a moron. It's just all there is to it. He's making a Carapax reference. So I don't know if Carapax is supposed to be in this movie or not, because there's another one of these obscure DC villains. I think he's from Guatemala or something. Like no one cares.
Oh,
like,
okay. I didn't know what that was.
Like no one cares. Like just stop pretending you know anything about comic books. You did your little movie. Everyone got fired. You don't have a job. Just stop.
That's where this next story becomes amusing.
Okay, so pops. But pops, can you actually give a definitive definition of who Bane is and his story?
Oh, how do I whittle Bane down to something that is like as interesting?
He's one of Batman's like most formidable foes.
Yeah, because he gets hopped up on this. There's something called Venom that is introduced in Batman story arcs, and it's like a steroid muscle enhancing power thing. And but what's interesting more about Bane is he's a lot more strategic than some of the other super villains. And his heyday comes along the story arc called Nightfall, which is about letting everybody out and destroying the walls of Arkham Asylum. So therefore, Batman basically exhausts himself, capturing all of them. So again, did you say Joker?
I like those days.
Yeah, Joker's front and center in that. He's figured out basically Bruce Wayne's identity as thing, and he basically just takes advantage of the situation and breaks his back and that kind of thing. So the story of Bane as being this sort of like interesting and mysterious character that uses the Venom stuff to become super strong and all of that. It's such a very interesting dynamic he's just different than these other villains. And that's what's made him live on, is that you end up with something that's different for Batman to have to deal with. And the fact that this crazy creator, first off, why is he even talking about Bane? Like, talk about just manufacturing some sort of headline for yourself. There's no connection between Blue Beetle and what you're doing. It's the only Hispanic characters that this guy knows is Carapax and Bane. It's the only reason he brought them up, because it makes no sense. Chuck
Aztec, El Diablo.
Yeah, Chuck and Graham Nolan created Bane. They themselves admit that it's kind of mind blowing of how cool and long the character has become relevant. Like, it's just but to turn it into all of this, it's just nuts. Now, some of the new stuff of Bane, I'm not going to say that I know all the brand new stuff. I know there's been stuff that's happened over the last few years, like Bane Conquest, I think is what it's called. I haven't read that. So I'm not going to pretend to be totally up to date on, White Knight. He's in White Knight. I haven't read that either. So I don't know. It's another crackpot Marvel comic book creator. That was all it is to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he diminishes Bane because Bane, like, as far as like mental games, like he's on par with Batman. Like he's just as smart as Batman. And so it's interesting to see their dynamic because like Batman has to even like push himself even further to outthink Bane, and Bane has the added advantage of he can be like super strong when he needs to be, but that's not all he is. He's super strong, but he's also super smart.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul is the one that always compliments Bane because Bane basically used his prison time to become a genius. He's like a self-taught genius when it comes to all these different scientific backgrounds. He can speak different languages. It's sort of like tying into that. I think he has eidetic memory. Anyway, it's like a photographic memory or eidetic memory or something like that. They tie that in as well to kind of create this reason for him to be such a great strategist and tactician and hold his own against Batman. They had to come up with reasons on why he would be so good and talented and whatever. So he's not just some dismissive guy that's created for this quote Hispanic interventionism and trying to make a name for your. It's just I just can't stand all this nonsense.
So from the he didn't get the memo.
Zax is just trolling me.
Zax is trolling you. The Blue Beetle director talking about this being a potential trilogy.
Nope.
Oh,
Peter's name is not on it. It's not going to happen. I stand corrected because Peter's not attached. So Peter's not on it. He's not sticking around. Now they got Zolo. Now is I don't know how to say the guy's name. Is that how you say his name? Zolo, the kid from Cobra Kai, the kid.
Oh, yeah, the kid, the guy. Yeah, the kid.
Now, if he's under contract for like 3 movies or something like that, then maybe they keep the kid around because he's marketable. He's a young kid, whatever. That's fine. They could throw him into Booster Gold because that actually might make Booster Gold interesting, especially if they could bring Chris Pratt into that role, which would be the perfect role for Chris Pratt, by the way.
I've been saying it
from the beginning. I think Left Eye Ego beat us all to the punch when he called that out, and I'm like, yeah, that does actually make sense. There's no reason to not think that'd be a perfect formula for that character, but to think this director who's going to deliver, I'm going to stick with 30 because still 30 is such a joke of a number, but you're right. It may not make 30. I don't know anyone even knows who Blue Beetle is. Like, it's just one of these.
No,
I mean,
I'd never heard of him since.
No.
Only if you've seen Young Justice, which has
that's
been
where I
the
heard about
last
him.
So
10,
Blue Beetle is
15
a
years.
really old character. Okay, I can't talk when you just put a penis on the screen.
What the hell's going on out there?
I'm like, talk about Blue Beetle for Internet Pops. It just says penis. I'm like,
I mean, hadn't it been a few years since they announced Blue Beetle?
yeah. So
I mean, that's when I heard about it. That's when I heard about Blue Beetle.
DC bought Charlton Comics, and they were kind of stuck because they ended up with 3 or 4 characters from that big merger, and they didn't know what to do. So Crisis on the Infinite Earth, in large part, was a way of restructuring, decades of history of comic books so they can move forward and integrate these cool characters because there were elements that were different and interesting, and Blue Beetle was relevant. Fast forward to Identity Crisis, I believe, and they redid it all, and that's how we ended up with Hispanic Jaime Reyes as the new Blue Beetle and whatever, and that's what we're going to go with. It's fine. It's not anything spectacular that anyone's going to be, because we've already done Iron Spider, we've seen Iron Man, we've seen Moon Knight, we've seen elements of all of this stuff done already. No one's going to care. No one's going to care.
And the only reason that because I have heard folks say that they would like the original Blue Beetle to be paired with Booster Gold, but what I'm saying, the only reason they would go with with Jaime is for the same reason when you're doing a Green Lantern, you would go with John Stewart. The same thing that you said, Pops. This is who the younger generation of fans, that's who they know.
Yeah,
and I'm not even
Justice League, Young Justice, all of those animated shows. Like Green Lantern is John Stewart to most people my age and a little younger.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a softball. Like I remember being on with Mags, like what? I mean, it was over a year ago. And we talked about DC and what they should do. And it was like Batman Beyond, and it was a Jon Stewart Green Lantern. It was like these are all like tee you up for making $1 billion per film. And they do everything in their power to completely go the opposite direction.
Yes, they do.
It's completely nuts. There's no reason we couldn't even allude to the fact that there's 2 or 3 other Blue Beetles, because there were. You can do that in this movie or the subsequent movie. But you can't rewrite the entire universe this character is going to be in this movie and then insult Bruce Wayne in the trailer, the Batman in the trailer, and expect people to want to go spend money when they'll just wait for it to go on streaming by Christmas. It's morons leading morons. It's so insane.
These articles made it look like there's going to be a big...
You have a birthday and you get wound me up with all this comic book talk. And I'm out of Dr. Pepper. I don't know what I'm going to be.
Rum?
Crashing.
Vodka?
Oh no, you don't know me. I don't drink. So yeah.
These articles make it sound like there's going to be a massive
That's our relationship.
Hispanic uprising, and that the theaters are going to be full of people being represented, and that's going to,
It's that
we
it's
could
the
poll
forced
the
diversity.
Hispanic community. They don't even know who freaking
Oh, I know.
beyond Batman and Superman. These people don't know who any of this stuff is. Like it's so dumb. It's like see yourself as who? Well, there's 12 of you that see yourself this way. You're morons.
Yes.
Just please stop talking to us. Yeah.
Les Beetle, that's right. Les
And
Beetle.
like there are so many, like, instead of making a traditionally like white character a different race, there's thousands of other heroes in the DC or Marvel universe that no one has ever seen, that are all of these other races that could that we could shine some light on them. Like why make a character that we already have an image of in our mind and change them?
But
just
they're
because
not
you're
the
like,
main
"Oh,
characters. That's the point. They're not the main characters. They want to race
they can
swap
become the main
and
character
sex
if we
change
shine
the
some
main
light on 'em."
characters.
No, they got to make Batman gay and Superman gay, and
Whoa! Let's
You
not
know.
be putting out
It's in
things that
Batman's
haven't
not gay.
happened.
So we're clear. Robin's gay, not Batman.
Did you
know.
see that
Superman's
picture
son
of
is gay.
Lizzo too?
They were trolling me the other night, Roman. They were talking about Disney buying DC so they could have the rights to Batman. So I was ready to like drive off a cliff. You want to see? There won't be the channel. I'll just be black for like a week because I just emotionally wouldn't even know how to handle life. Because I didn't think there could be worse ideas than Tom King, but Disney would find a way. Disney would find a way.
Yeah, they would.
yes,
Look, Blue Beetle could work. They're late to the party, and it's not a character that could carry a whole movie, and it can't carry a whole movie for the amount of money they've invested. And now you tack on all of this sort of racist, insensitive nonsense in a universe where Gunn doesn't even acknowledge what his future would be. I mean, imagine if this was happening, but when they advertised the Booster Gold thing, it was the most famous Booster Gold story is Blue and Gold. And it's like, oh, I wonder what they're going to do there. We know what they're going to do there. So therefore we would go, oh, the movie's going to be tied to this Booster Gold movie. We should go see it. By the way, maybe there's a cameo with Chris Pratt or whoever's going to be Booster Gold. Like, they're just morons. It just makes my head hurt because it's so easy to make money doing this and make some fun and and they can't do it.
You know why it was easy for you to come up with that idea, Pops?
What's that?
You know why it was easy for you to come up with that idea?
Because I care.
Because you're a fan. Because you're a fan. You actually like the material. The people who are making this material don't like the material. They like the idea of having access to the material.
I have that Crisis book right behind me.
They like having access to it so they can destroy it.
Yep.
yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The only thing
I
that's
was
going to
actually
come out
a
of
couple weeks ago. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead. Mine's
Okay,
more.
I was just gonna say a couple weeks ago, me and my friend Wicked Virtue, we were talking about Universal possibly like wanting and this is just like rumor mill stuff. Universal possibly wanting to buy DC. Like these are like rumors. I'd rather Universal than Disney.
No, I would rather Universal needs to stick with their massive plans with Nintendo Universe and stuff like that. Just keep shoveling the money into that stuff and don't get involved with spreading yourself thin. Don't get your own streaming service. Just stay lean and mean. Don't get into all that nonsense.
Thank you.
I was going to say the only plus
Okay.
for me personally with Blue Beetle is maybe I can sell my beautifully graded Infinite Crisis first appearance of Blue Beetle and Jaime Reyes comic books, which is what I'm hoping to do. So anyway, if you're interested, feel free to let me know. I'll be more than happy to sell them at a reasonable price.
That is a solid angle, Pops. If you have to look for a positive, that's pretty good.
You got to take what you can get when you have. Yes.
I saw those action figures at the store yesterday. The movie version of the Blue Beetle. McFarlane's also put out a classic version, and that one looks cool. The movie version looks like the movie version of Blue Beetle. So it depends on how excited you are for the film, and I think both of you maybe you'll enjoy it. I don't know. So anyway.
Speaking of McFarlane fans, or
Yes.
McFarlane toys.
Yep. Sorry. Yes.
Did anybody see the original or Star Trek figures that they were going to have, but then they canceled it for some reason? I think I sent them to Roman. But man, they were some fantastic looking figures.
So they aren't going to make it. They're not going to make them.
No, not anymore. No.
See, I only have
Sad.
I have 3 Star Trek figures, and they're actually my son's Star Trek figures. He for some reason brought them out here, and he's like, "Hey, you want to put these in your collection?" Huh? And I'm like, "All right, son, you're speaking to me at least. I'll put them in with my collection." So,
I had the original Mego ones in the early 70s.
Oh yeah. I have that Enterprise.
I wasn't rich enough to hold the Enterprise. I just had, the guys. He
So
immediately
for
lost
those
the
of you-
phaser, and
Roman was an only
I had
child.
the,
He was allowed to have a lot more toys than we.
I wasn't
I had-
only
I had
child.
the-
I had no siblings that had to endure the parents of the Empire.
I had the
But I did get a lot of
TNG,
stuff.
the
I was
TNG
loved the
bridge.
things.
I had
I
the
never had- I
TNG
was too old for
bridge
that.
with
Well, I
the
guess I
with the
was too old for
figures.
that.
Oh wow.
Those words
Cool.
make sense. Mego, Star Trek, McFarlane. I don't know what the fuck we were talking
So I looked it up really quickly. The McFarlane thing came to a demise because of a feud over the phaser and safety issues and things like that. So that's what killed
Are
the
you
deal.
fucking kidding me?
Nope.
What?
Look it up. It's
The
his
safety
McFarlane Star
of the
Trek.
phaser?
Yeah, some
Yes,
sort
those,
of
those dangerous
dispute over the
plastic
I hate
little
everything.
guns.
God, Star Trek is deader than hell.
No, speaking of which, oh no.
No, old Star Trek is still alive.
Hang on, we can talk about that real fast.
But
We'll
the new
wrap up
stuff
after
is
this. Stupid. It hurts me on the inside, and I read a lot of articles about around this topic because I was like, what are these people thinking? And even after reading the article,
I'm never gonna
I
watch
didn't-
this.
no, neither am I. We never watched the episode. Maybe it was good. That's my semi-normie.
They were
Yes,
talking about this. They were talking about this on the Small Little Nerd on Saturday.
Historic and epic musical episode.
Jesus.
There are many things Star Trek is. Is it a moral play? Yes, it is. Can it have comedy elements? Yes, it does. Does it speak to modern issues? Of course it does. And is it entertaining sci-fi? Absolutely. But one of the things it's never been is a musical.
I keep seeing memes about it everywhere.
Yeah, and they're not. Some people put different music to it, which makes it, I guess, more amusing, palatable. I don't know.
Someone put the Friday Night Tights theme to that, and it's a much
Okay.
It was so funny. It was amazing.
You shut your dirty whore mouth, Flaccid. Shut it.
Wow.
Shut it.
Oh,
Wow.
that's when the nightmare began.
Wow.
I think there goes
Well,
Roman's heart.
this goes back
I hate it
to
all.
Batman, making Batman do stupid things, making Klingons do that.
But
It's absurd.
So I have not watched the episode. I have not watched Star Trek for years. I'm a Star Wars guy. I'm not a Trek guy. But but from what I know, could a musical episode have worked? Sure, if it was like a holodeck malfunction and it turned the entire you get thrown into this musical loop. Sure. The problem with the Klingons is they were using like pop boy band type
Opera.
boy band type music. It should have been opera
Yes.
or some like Scandinavian symphonic metal
Or
band.
heavy metal, yeah.
It's just that meme has been. I feel like that is probably the best and worst thing for Star Trek is that
Backstreet
because the meme
Klingons.
has just flown out and
But
like
that's-
people who don't know anything about Star Trek are like, what is this?
I don't want them to know about Star Trek like this.
I know,
No,
right?
this is the wrong way. This is the wrong way.
It's like,
This
oh,
is
come
not
into
the
Star
way.
Trek where we have musicals like High School Musical.
Like Glee.
Oh Lord! Again, we went weird again.
It's always
and
weird,
because
Roman.
it's,
Why?
it's in context. It is in context. I just can't. I can't get my head around New Trek.
I hate all of it.
It's not.
I'm an
it's
original series guy. That's the one I love, but I like Next Gen. My drummer, I have a big argument about that. He thinks Next Gen is unwatchable. Then after that, it's a pretty quick slide. I like Enterprise. I like Voyager, and then I dump Deep.
I like Deep Space Nine.
Deep
A lot of
Space
people
Nine,
do. A lot of
yes.
people do.
From what
Roman?
from
Deep Space
what
Nine
I
is good.
from what I've heard, a lot of folks' favorite Trek is Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
No, I've heard that as well. People like different stuff. I just didn't like. I liked it better when it was Babylon 5.
Fair enough.
Similar in concept, very different in execution, but the ideas were still kind of there. But I like Babylon 5.
Wow.
I thought that was a brilliant show.
I love
I've
the
not seen
whole
Babylon 5 either.
Dominion
Placids!
War.
Stop it! Stop it!
I love the whole Dominion War
I did too. I like that.
part of Deep Space Nine.
Voyager, I
Pops?
didn't like.
Are you a Pops?
First
are
three
you a-
seasons of Enterprise,
are
I
you-
didn't like either.
Is Pops a Star Trek fan?
Well, TOS would be my jam. Season 3 of TNG. And then it's just scattered stuff. But I will admit, I need to do, like I said earlier about doing with Breaking Bad, I need to do one of those, start at the beginning, watch it through to give it a better chance. You know what I mean? Like I've watched all this stuff, but sometimes it's out of order, or this season will start, so I watch pieces of this to catch up or things like that. So, but all this new stuff, no, not even
It's not
a
good.
non-Trek fan. I couldn't get into all this kind of stuff. I was trying to download this finale so we could look at this wonderful dance sequence for ourselves, but I clicked the wrong episode. I had the wrong episode pulled up, so sorry about that. So I was
That's
distracted.
the only part of any of Trek that I've seen. And
I'm
just
ready
like,
to clip it and use it regularly and put it with my
Oh,
scroll
Lord.
face swap that Jacob gave me and put some landmines in it, and it'll make a great intro for something. Absolutely.
Landmine to the head.
Landmines to the face. By
I
the way,
actually
C2 is Talk Hard this
have
week.
the clip.
so you
I can send it to Roman. It's
Lord.
on YouTube. If
Which
you
thing?
want to,
What am I doing? Help me, Jacob.
the Klingon singing clip.
Oh,
from-
Dancing Klingons? Yeah. Send it in the chat if you got it.
Okay.
In the private chat. Not you Commodores chats, you plebs.
Oh my God. Hi, Miss Martin Muses. Welcome
Because
in.
we're fancy.
I'm a
here.
smart
Hey,
niece.
Teresa.
Teresa, what is shaking?
Also, it's weird. The Klingons are a light color. I mean, they're
Whoa,
not.
whoa. Is that why we're singing boy band music? Are we saying
Huh?
things? I think we are. It feels
No,
like we are.
no. These Klingons are. They have white skin. Some of them.
I don't even know. what's
why did
happening.
you have to
But again,
bring
it's
race
New Trek.
into
I
it
can't-
again?
Oh,
Hey,
is that
did
it, Jacob?
They did it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's. I'm going to move it over here. Hopefully, I don't. Does this work? This looks like it works. Is it working? Does it work?
I don't know.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I don't know.
I'm gonna. I have it over here. Do I dare? How long is this? 28 seconds. I'm gonna get hit for that, aren't I?
Probably, but it'll
If
be
you
worth
do
it.
it in order, yeah, I can't even find it this episode. So
You
we'll watch
can
your
like
clip.
when you're going back and like editing this video or whatnot. You can like just
Wait,
mute the audio.
Amanda. What did you just say?
If you go back and edit this video,
Oh, yeah.
am I the only one who ever edits my videos? Because I get
I don't.
get like copyrighted all the time where I have to like go back and like take audio out of my videos.
For
Dang it,
some
Amazon, I
reason,
see
I have not gotten copyrighted on anything yet. One
All right, I'm gonna
one
hold
thing,
this for just like a
just
second
one
and see
thing,
if,
I've gotten
see if
a
it.
warning.
Oh, mother dick!
Actually, I have my editor Americus. My apologies.
I don't even know
Is
what's
that
happening.
Roman?
God.
Wait, that's not it.
Wait, what
Back.
happened?
Back.
I think you went forward too far.
I am
He's
so
like,
bad at
hit
everything.
Flying all over the place now. Hit the back button on the browser a couple times. Get back to them.
And make sure you also share
connected.
the
There we
audio
are.
so that way we can hear
Yes.
it too.
Did you hear the audio?
No.
Or no?
Nope.
No.
I hear nothing.
You hear no.
Oh.
Oh God, it's.
Are you on Firefox?
I don't know what I'm doing.
So
I don't
stop
usually
sharing.
click-
Make sure when you click the share button, there is an audio button in the share button that you click and you share the audio.
Is there? Oh,
I
no,
am
now
your
need to go away.
Indian tech support.
Now I made it. Now I made it leave. Share screen. Don't show these tips again. Entire screen. Oh, share audio. Okay, I found it.
There we go.
Here we go.
And again, we're only gonna play it for like a sec because sweet mother of God, got it. I'm already this channel doesn't need any help hurting itself.
Dude,
So
with
here
the
we go.
stash
Let's
there,
see.
too. That's the
Yeah, we got
Okay,
it.
pause it.
Oh my
Pause it.
God.
Pause it.
Oh my
Pause it.
God.
You've got to be kidding
Oh,
me.
then it goes to the numbers thing. Well, I'm sorry, folks.
well.
I'm
You could
mess.
you could put that link in the chat and people can look at it if they want
Yeah,
to.
there we go. Because you'll have better luck with it than I am. Because I'm just trying not to get every time that one of those things come up, it's no fun.
I watched the clip and it's like they come on the view screen, the Klingons, and they're talking normally, and then they like get taken over and start singing.
Oh boy, that's
And it's
dreadful.
very
It's
very
very
reminiscent of like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys with the
Yeah,
they reach
right.
forward and they bring back the hand. It's just
I
like,
don't know what that is.
I'm watching it right now. It looks
Here,
hellish.
let me do it, Roman.
All right. Oh, you got it queued up. Okay. Oops. What did I do? Hang on. All right.
Okay, here we go. So they're just talking at the moment, and then it changes. So yeah.
Oh no!
Hang on.
Nope! Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So
Oh my, that is
let's get you
bad.
that full effect here. Like we got to go back just a second,
Klingon
and you're like, see, they're just talking. And look at the guy dancing in the back. Like, what on earth are you
Why
thinking?
you only calling?
And then it just kind of keeps going.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that is bad.
That's my jam, y'all.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
I'll make
so-
sure to listen to that during my yoga class.
I don't feel good
Tell
about
all of my
myself at all
girlfriends
after
about
watching
it. Like,
You should like take that.
Happy birthday
take
to
that-
Roman.
You should
Yeah,
take that clip.
Thank you for that gift.
You
So
should take
speaking of
that clip.
birthdays,
Sorry.
no, go ahead, Jacob.
You should take that clip of the dancing and stuff, and then cut to the Klingons looking up and screaming to the sky. You know, when their fallen Klingon dies. Ah.
So it was my birthday. I got gifts. I
Aw.
got books.
Oh,
I got invincible
Go back.
figures.
That was Andy Weir books. What's the second one? I know it was Martian. What's the other one?
Project Hail Mary.
What's the
I've
new
not
one,
read,
isn't it?
obviously, I've not read either of these. I never saw the Martian film.
Oh, you haven't?
No. So yeah,
Oh.
my pop, old pop of the Empire, sent me both of these. Apparently, I just read the insert from Project Hail Mary. It's another isolated in space kind of thing. I guess that's kind of his niche.
He's such a fun writer.
That's cool. I haven't read.
But like I said, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't have that spoiled for me.
Invincible figures for the room. Good.
I do. Like I said, I very much enjoy the series. I haven't read the comic book, so it wasn't ruined for me in that aspect. And I get it if it is, though. And then my wife got me this giant thing. It's fantastic. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, B-sides and rarities. It's a 7-album set of exactly what it says.
Cool.
Some songs arranged differently, and other stuff that is nowhere else but on this set. So it's pretty exciting.
How many versions of Red Right Hand are there?
There are several. No, there's only.
There's got to be several of them. Yeah.
I don't think that's on this set.
I have at least 3 different versions because I have one that I have mixed to use for my Spawn intro. It's like a mixed version of that Red Right Hand song. Yeah, I got it through copyright. You have to tweak these things to make them work, but yeah, that music is perfect.
I like Barry Adamson, his bass player.
What was that?
I like Barry Adamson, his bass player. I've been a fan of his for years.
So how people my age learned who Nick Cave was, unless they were like automatically cool, which I wasn't, was from an episode of The X-Files. That was the first time I had heard that song where Scully's stuck in the trunk. And I forget it's basically like a demon serial killer guy. It's a weird, or was that Dwayne Barry? God damn my brain. Sorry. I get confused. Anyway, it was an episode of The X-Files back in the day, which is where I heard Nick Cave first. And then my daughter's a big fan. She's seen him several times. So anyway, that was the Of the Empire birthday. Not, like I said, I'm not a young man, so weird shit I like getting. It's fun. But anyway, let's go around the horn here, and then we can wander off for the remainder of the week. Oh, there was something I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I know. He won't shut the fuck up. Mrs. of the Empire sent this to me earlier. It's on YouTube. The artist is Oliver Anthony, and the song is called Richmond North of Richmond. Look that up. I would put it in the chat, but I'll fuck something up and you probably won't get it anyway. But he's it's a country style artist, country folk, just singing this song. And this song is it's all over the Twitter right now. So take a look at this guy. He's on both YouTube and the song is on Twitter. He's not actually on Twitter. It's just getting circulated there. But very, very poignant song about modern times. What's that, Pops?
Name and song again?
The name is Oliver Anthony, and the song is Richmond North of Richmond.
Why does that sound familiar?
So check that out. It was like I said, Mrs. of the Empire put it on just before the show, and I was like, wow, that guy is cool. And apparently he's gotten picked up just from this. That's that talent and luck meet thing that most musicians don't get. So good on this guy. I'm interested to see what happens with him. So anyhow, I want to thank the chat this week for making things more uncomfortable than they normally are, and that's pretty good. That's impressive. You don't usually see that, but here we are. I'm amazed. You got me. So thank you to the chat and of course the panel. You guys, Pops. It's nice having you back with us. I haven't had you on for a while. I think the last one was one of our long form reviews, and then Jacob, good to have you back as well, and as the regular folk who tend to be with me from week to week, despite their best efforts. So, Mando, what do you have coming up? What 9,000 products do you have this week?
So always, of course. My schedule is kind of going to be changing a little bit. As many of you on the Twitterverse are aware, my friend Wicked Virtue and I are not going to be doing Unplugged on Sundays anymore. We're still friends. I promise. We still like each other. Just life just gets in the way of living sometimes. So I'm thinking about starting a thing every Sunday, every so often, where it's maybe Mando Talks. I don't know. I'm thinking about it, where I just cover like news and gaming information and what? Oh, never mind.
Just go with it, Mando.
I know on Mondays, not this Monday, but the next Monday, me and a group of people are going to be playing D&D, and I will be streaming my perspective on Kick. So that'll be my once in a while Kick stream that I'm doing, and then Twitch, still on Twitch, still doing things there, just a little bit random right now. And then I'm also going to hopefully be focusing a little bit more on the YouTubes with me with having an editor finally. And so yeah, just expect more content on YouTube hopefully, and I'll be doing at least one stream on Kick once a week, and Twitch is still there. I'm just things are a little crazy right now.
Yes, they are. You know what? That's good though. You've got fires and all your irons and all the fires, so it's very impressive, and I am very envious. So, yin to my yang, yes. Pops, thank you for being back with us. You are also a busy man. What do you got coming up, brother?
Oh, it's a full slate. We just put @Pops in on the YouTubes and go over there and check it out. So yeah, fun stuff coming up. I got you coming back for a comic book talk later this month. We'll get that recorded, so that'll drop in September. So that'll be fun. Talk some Alex Ross. We love the Alex Ross. Yes. No, weekly comic book days. So that's every Wednesday's comic book day. So we do comic talks on those days. Watch Your Story on Sundays. So great guest coming. Eric O'Sullivan's going to be on. Zach's my man. Zach's got to Watch Your Story in the cans. We got him recorded. 32 flavors of Nick Weiser. Got Nick coming in. Comic book talk with Nick as well. Daryl the Derelict, got him coming in. Did some Stranger Things retrospectives with him a little bit because again, palate cleanser stuff, guys. Find something that you love, soak it up. This week is going to be my last X-Men animated perspective for a minute. I'm going to take a minute pause to do some other cartoons and stuff. So there's been so many recommendations, I could never do it all. So I'm not sure what I'm going to watch, but between Friday and next week, I'm going to do several.
Battle of the Planets.
Oh, I can just watch Battle of the Planets. I don't even know what to say. It takes me back to being like a child again. I don't even know there's anything I could say. I just enjoy. And it's like free on YouTube, by the way. There's a playlist on YouTube, Battle of the Planets, all the episodes free on YouTube. So thank you, Copa. Binge. So it's instead of binge watching, it's batch shooting for YouTube. It's like you have a plan, you have a structure. This is what you do when you do it. And you get someone like Pat S to help you schedule. And you surround yourself, and I'm always looking for more people because I need someone to help me with social media. Because Lord knows, I know I should put stuff on Facebook, and I know I should do this, and I just don't do it. I get caught up doing other stuff. And I'm like Roman, I just forget because we're old. We just forget. So.
Wow, Nas is mean right there. What is that?
Oh, it's okay. No, listen, I've got to find someone, Nas, that has as much passion as I do about proving the theory that Watto matters so much to the Star Wars universe, and we'll do a whole show about why there should be a Watto show since Disney Plus is really well.
Yeah, really.
We should do a prequel series that lets us understand the history of, and to be honest, it needs to be followed with all the other important characters, Nas, like you mentioned before, like the Max Rebo band, right? We need to know what is how did Ula end up in Jabba's palace and trapped and look, we need to know the real questions the Star Wars fans have. So it's out there somewhere. We'll see.
These are all.
Yeah, Zach brings up a very, very good point. If you're not a member, though, Zach, because I have to drop that on Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. The members only. You can't schedule members only chat or member only videos. I don't understand why that's a thing. You can do premieres and whatever, but when members, you can't. So for you that are members, Sunday night, 8:30, Zach's and I bust open a 1991 Jim Lee X-Men box of trading cards. Okay.
Wow.
Oh wow,
Cool.
And is he going to do the challenge?
There's no gum.
Oh,
These cards are classy. There's no gum. However, if you can make that stream, the first one in, it says it, there's a chance to win a pack of cards. We give away a pack of cards. So you don't want to miss that. If you're not a member, consider it. Zach and I had a blast, and we did find we called it a super pack because something special happens in one pack of cards. It is incredible. I couldn't believe this is all in one pack. It was nuts.
That gum is the best tasting cardboard flavored gum ever.
Yeah, and kudos to Jacob. Jacob did it. Jacob did the Padawan challenge like a boss. Couldn't believe it.
How would you know? How would you know?
What do you mean, how would I know?
He's not on camera.
He did it for me. He was on camera for me.
Yeah, that
he did
was
that
a-
I want
that
to
was
be
a
challenged
special.
on camera.
Whoa!
Wow.
Only
Wow.
Jacob.
Wow.
Of course he would.
I understand it's Pops, and Pops brings all the
Okay.
big names.
Okay. All right. We're clear. How do you think I ended up with a scroll drinking a Coke? It's going to be my way of
Exactly.
talking about Marvel for the next couple of months. It's like me drinking a Coke with a scroll. Every thumbnail, thanks to Jacob. Yes.
Yeah.
So Jacob Ironside, hostage of the raccoons. What do you have coming up? You have a fabulous show every Tuesday, but you got something new going on as well. What do you got?
Yep. This Saturday, my new show starts called All in the Mix. And the first episode, I'll be talking about storytelling and how it comes together. And then Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about Galaxy Quest.
Ooh, nice.
Fun. And two
very
something
fun.
else I'd like to say. September 2nd is my year on YouTube. So I'll be having a
Oh,
little
nice.
celebration.
Nice.
Right
Very
on.
cool.
That'll be fun. And that's all I got.
Cool. Keep those raccoons at bay. Joker voice. What do you have coming up?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow morning, I will be dropping my impression. Not really. It's not really a review because the show's not over yet. But with one episode left, I'm going to be dropping kind of a reaction and why I really like the show, The Warrior. Like I said, it takes a lot for me to binge 3 seasons in like 4 days. So it's done. It's got very high marks. No, I'm never doing that, Zim, and you shut your whore mouth. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be back on Legion Talk with Friday Night's Royal Rumble. That's always talking about the week in pop culture. That's always fun. And then back to the normal routine. Last week's News Now. Then the Monday night streaming with Game of Thrones Season 4, Episode 10. Over the weekend, I'm going to go see The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Yeah, I'm down, Matt. So I'll probably be doing a review on that as well.
Awesome. Well, that's good. Yeah, like I said, I do want to see that movie, but I'll see it eventually, is the way it is with most movies. I finally got to see Guardians of the Galaxy, and I really enjoyed it. So
It was good.
eventually I'm going to watch The Flash, but I'm not ever going to pay to see The Flash, so it'll make its way around. Although, who knows how I might see it. Blair de Blair, my favorite internet wizard. What do you have coming up, brother?
Next week, I'm going to be with Jacob Ironside talking about Galaxy Quest.
Right on.
The best satire movies ever made, in my opinion.
I do. I love Galaxy Quest. It hit
Great
you right
film.
with Star Trek. It was
Yes,
beautiful.
It does. And then after that, I'm going to be taking a bit of a hiatus. It's football season. My kid's in football. His games are on Thursday nights. So I will not be around until sometime in October-ish. So
Right. Well, that's good. Getting out with the kid, doing a thing.
Yeah.
I wish I had a parent to do that, so it would have been nice.
I know, right?
The wolves did not sport. So anyway, so again, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. This was an awful lot of fun.
Happy
Next week is
birthday.
going to be a thank you.
Yep,
I did
happy
not
birthday.
die. You did not get silkies. You did not get dancing. So I apologize for that. But frankly, if you do a compare and contrast with me and Max, you know which one you're going to pick for that. So you're actually winning in this. But So next week. It's going to be it's a different form. We're changing up a little bit for next week because going back to the old ways, doing long form review of the film Dark City. So that's going to be fun and probably pretty weird. But that's what you get, folks. So please like and subscribe. As we eke our way slowly towards the 400 number, every little bit helps. But again, thank you to the panel. Thank you to the chat. This has been a really fun evening. Be kind.
Today is my 111th birthday. I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve.
Yes.